We've all seen those 7 levels of wealth charts, the ones that go from survival to stability to abundance. They're fine, but they stop too early because real wealth doesn't end when your bills are paid. It evolves from money to time to meaning to peace. Most people only ever reach the money stage and never even realize there are levels above it. And stay with me until the end, because we'll uncover one of the biggest misconceptions about wealth, and something almost no one talks about that quietly decides which level you'll ever reach. This is Hidden Economics. Let's decode the 7 hidden levels of wealth, from money to peace. The first level is security, and it's where most people start. Here, wealth simply means survival. Rent paid, fridge stocked, lights on. Every decision is about today. Behavioral economists call this the scarcity trap. When your brain is in survival mode, it can't think long term. A Princeton study found that financial stress can temporarily reduce cognitive function by as much as 13 IQ points. That's like trying to solve chess while your house is on fire. If you've ever refreshed your banking app 5 times in a day, you know what this feels like. At level 1, wealth isn't luxury, it's stability. You move up, not by earning more, but by creating breathing room. A single month's buffer. Because the first rule of building wealth is escaping the constant fear of losing it. Security silences panic, but when the noise fades, something new begins to whisper. It's not survival anymore, it's comfort. Comfort is where life starts to feel good. You can buy the nicer groceries, upgrade the car, take a short holiday without panic. It's where you finally stop surviving and start living. But comfort hides a subtle trap, lifestyle creep. Your income rises and your spending stretches to meet it. You promise yourself, just one more raise and I'll start saving. But you never feel richer, only less content. Economists call this the hedonic treadmill. Each improvement resets your expectations. In 2010, researchers found that once basic needs are met, more money doesn't reliably increase happiness. Beyond that, satisfaction plateaus. At level 2, wealth equals ease. But ease without awareness becomes debt disguised as progress. Comfort should be a checkpoint, not a finish line. And that's why the system loves comfort. When you're comfortable, you keep spending to stay that way. Subscriptions, upgrades, renovations, a quiet treadmill built on treat yourself. The machine doesn't want you free, it wants you pleasantly trapped, because content people don't overconsume. Comfort gives you options, but not control. To climb higher, you have to stop trading money for stuff and start trading it for time. Freedom is the first level where wealth feels internal. You're no longer asking, can I afford this? You're asking, do I want to? It's not about quitting your job, it's about owning your calendar. Naval Ravikant said it best. A calm mind, a fit body, and a house full of love. These can't be bought, they must be earned. Freedom is the wealth of choice. It might mean working fewer hours, or choosing who you work with. It might mean saying no without fear. I once spoke with a designer who cut his income in half to work 3 days a week. At first he panicked, his savings slowed, friends thought he'd lost ambition, but a few months later he realised he'd bought back 40% of his life. He had slow mornings, time to read, actual energy for people he loved. His happiness didn't double. His anxiety halved. That trade-off, time for tension, is the first real taste of freedom. And that's huge, because at this level, money serves you instead of the other way around. Most people think this is where wealth ends. That's the misconception we'll tackle later. But the higher you climb, the less it's about numbers, and the more it's about knowing yourself. Freedom gives you space, but space without structure. The next level is where wealth stops being a hustle and starts being a system. Time is the wealth most people talk about, but few truly build. At this level, your resources compound without constant effort. Investments grow while you sleep. Systems replace grind. It's not about being lazy, it's about designing leverage. Imagine 2 identical earners. One reinvests 10% into automated income streams. The other spends every dollar upgrading lifestyle. After a decade, both earn the same, but one owns their mornings. Economist Thomas Piketty wrote that when capital grows faster than wages, the future belongs to owners, not workers. That's level 4, when time becomes your most valuable asset. And your wealth finally starts to breathe on its own. Time gives independence, but isolation doesn't give meaning. The next level isn't about accumulation, it's about alignment. Purpose is when wealth points outward. You've stabilized your life, now you want it to matter. It's the business owner funding scholarships, the coder building open source tools, the retiree mentoring teens on weekends. Morgan Housel calls it the invisible return. It's fulfillment as the dividend of contribution. Purpose is rare because it requires introspection, not expansion. At this level, success shifts from more to why. Money becomes fuel for meaning. As the philosopher Seneca wrote, wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. Purpose is what flips that hierarchy back around. Look at Patagonia's founder, Yvon Chouinard. He built a $1 billion brand, then gave it away so the profits could protect the planet. At that level, money stops being currency and becomes conviction. You don't have to donate a company to feel it. Every act that replaces status with service is a quiet revolution. It's the volunteer who tutors after work, the parent teaching patience, the neighbor who listens. Purpose is the level where wealth stops asking, what can I get? And starts asking, what can I give? Purpose creates fulfillment. But at some point, you'll want your ideas to travel further than your voice. That's where influence begins. Influence is leverage. It's the ability to shape outcomes without direct effort. This isn't about followers, it's about effect. A teacher influencing hundreds of students over decades has more lasting wealth than a CEO forgotten after retirement. Influence compounds like interest. One idea shared widely can outlive a fortune spent quietly. Think of Marie Curie, Martin Luther King, or Morgan Housel himself. Their words earn impact long after their lifetimes. But here's the danger. Influence without integrity corrodes. History is full of powerful people who built empires, yet lost themselves, which is why the final level exists, to ground all the rest. And when we reach the last level, you'll understand what almost no one talks about, the kind of wealth that can't be shown, only felt. Peace is the rarest wealth and the hardest to measure. It's the moment your life stops feeling like a race, when you can finally look around and think, I have enough. I am enough. Most people mistake peace for boredom because we've been trained to measure value in motion, earn more, buy more, prove more. But at level 7, wealth isn't motion. It's stillness that doesn't feel empty. It's being able to wake up without anxiety about what's next, to be fully present at dinner without checking your phone, to take a walk without feeling like you're wasting time. I once asked a mentor what wealth meant to him. He smiled and said, peace is when nothing external can make you feel small again. It reminded me of something Lao Tzu wrote over 2,000 years ago. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. That's level 7. It's why Warren Buffett still lives in his modest Omaha house. Why monks who own nothing radiate contentment. Why some parents feel rich just sitting on the floor with their kids, laughing at something simple. Peace isn't about having everything. It's about no longer needing everything. It's the level beyond ego, where you realize the point of wealth was never ownership. It was freedom from craving. And when you reach that, you don't just have wealth, you become it. That's why so few people ever reach this level. Peace doesn't produce profit. It can't be packaged, taxed, or turned into a metric. So the system never taught us to chase it. And that misunderstanding, that blind spot between what can be sold and what can be felt, is the heart of the misconception we're about to uncover. Most people believe the richest are those with the most money. But after meeting a few of them, I'm not so sure. I've met people worth more than small countries, yet their smiles don't translate into real happiness. They talk about success, but there's an echo in their presence, like they built an empire and lost themselves somewhere inside it. It's not that they're bad people, they just won the game the world told them to play, only to discover the trophy was hollow. Their calendars are full, but their minds never rest. They own everything, except their time, their curiosity, and their peace. And yet, some of the happiest people I've ever met have very little. A local cafe owner who remembers every customer's name. A retired school teacher who still tutors kids for free. A nurse who works night shifts but laughs easily and often. They're not chasing upgrades, they're chasing connection. They come home tired but fulfilled because their effort means something beyond the paycheck. They experience warmth, not just from the sun, but from people who look them in the eye. They feel safe, not because of money, because they belong somewhere. They might not have abundance in numbers, but they live in abundance of moments. And that's what money often confuses us about. We chase wealth as if it's a ladder. But for some people, it's a circle. They keep coming back to what really matters: meaning, safety, love, laughter, and enough. The economy measures GDP, but it can't measure a hug or a sunrise or peace of mind. So maybe the real misconception isn't just about what wealth is, but about where it lives. Because true wealth doesn't show up in your balance sheet. It shows up in your energy, in your relationships, in your ability to wake up calm and unafraid. That's why you can have millions and still feel poor, and have very little yet feel completely whole. You've just seen how the biggest misconception about wealth unravels, and why the truth no one talks about might be the only one that matters. You don't move between levels by earning more. You move by unlearning what trapped you in the last one. Each level requires a new mindset and a new definition of enough. The culture we live in and the algorithms we scroll through are designed to keep you comparing sideways, not climbing upward. They monetize discontent. They make you feel behind, so you'll spend to catch up. We scroll through highlight reels of other people's wealth and call it motivation, but algorithms aren't mentors. They're mirrors that sell aspiration back to us. The system doesn't want you peaceful, it wants you predictable. Every time you compare, you feed the machine that profits from your dissatisfaction. That's the quiet cost no one includes in their net worth. But when you stop measuring wealth by what you can display and start measuring it by what you can discard, you begin to rise again. We've traveled from money to peace, and if you've made it this far, you already see wealth differently. You've climbed through the levels most people never even realize exist. So if you feel stuck, you're not failing. You're just standing at the edge of your next level. Every small act of awareness is already wealth in motion. Remember, wealth grows fastest when it's not competing, but compounding. In meaning, in time, in peace. Because if peace truly is the final level of wealth, then awareness is the first step toward it. If this helped you see wealth differently, hit subscribe and join us at Hidden Economics, where we decode the systems shaping your money, time, and freedom. Tell me in the comments, which level do you think you're on, and which are you climbing to next? This is Hidden Economics. Stay curious, stay sharp, decode the system. I'll see you in the next one.